This review is of the Zalman i4 ATX mid-tower computer case. And this is a budget case. I paid 60 some dollars, I believe, for it, which is probably more than it's actually worth. But, it's okay because I can share with you guys what I learned about this case. As you can see, it's got two mesh sides. There's also a mesh section on the top. Of course, the back has lots of ventilation. And as with most cases, there is no ventilation on the right side. Um, but first, I want to talk to you about the delivery. Now, I ordered this from Amazon before I started boycotting them because of the illegal behavior they've been doing regarding the union organization that's been happening at my location. And so they shipped this to me via UPS, and I got a message from UPS saying it was delivered to my door. Well, it was delivered, but not to my door. It was delivered to my apartment building's door, and which kind of irritates me because I want to know that it's at my door because my door is, well, less seen than other doors, so less likely to be stolen than if it's sitting outside at the front door of the building. Now, as you look at this, you'll notice that the tape at the bottom is kind of curling there at the on the side, and at the top there is no tape on the side. It has come loose. Now, seeing as how I've worked for this company for almost 2 years, I can safely say this happens all the time because we work in the world's largest Amazon facility for sorting packages and putting them into and taking them out of cargo containers for airplanes. And they go down chutes, they get crushed against each other, and sometimes horribly so. And Amazon cares so little that they don't bother to mark things that are liquid or glass for the most part. So those things get broken all the time. And that's always a big, big mess because Amazon is too stingy to pay
It has dual front and side air vent. It's really mesh. And it's got a top I/O port with one USB 2.0 and two USB 3.0, and it's got 6 fans in it, and it's black, and you can see it right here. So we've got power, we've got reset, USB 2.0, microphone, speakers or headset, USB 3.0, all A, of course, no C, and an LED light that, or actually not a light, a button that connects to your motherboard to turn LEDs on and off. Because there's a version of this, the i4G, I think it is, that actually has a little bit of LEDs in it. It doesn't fit perfectly, as you can see. This is kind of sticking out here, but, well, you know, it's pretty inexpensive. They come with the a top magnetic filter. There's also magnetic filters inside here and inside here. But as you'll see, the mesh in here does not cover this area. Now, almost the entirety of this case is made of metal, although there is a piece of plastic inside of here and another one at the bottom, but the rest of it is all metal. And as you can see, there are 7 removable and reusable port covers for slot cards and 2 vertical ones for a vertical GPU setup. There are 6 fans. And this one, it has 120s. So 1, 2, 3, and then 3 in the front. Also, the side panels are held in place with thumb screws. And this is where the motherboard, or sorry, the CP, oh my gosh, PSU goes. Blah, blah, blah. The right-hand panel is not mesh. So we have mesh on, well, technically you could say mesh on 4 sides. Front, back, left, and top. Now, on the bottom, we have 5/8 inch feet that have rubber on the bottom. And we have got a filter for the PSU's intake, the power supply's intake. And then these things are, these 4 thumb screws are for adjusting the position of the hard drive bay. There's a double bay inside of the power supply area. So these allow you to actually slide it. I would do it right now, but oh man. When they, before they send these out to from the factory, they tighten them up a lot. So you're going to need a screwdriver the first time you want to loosen these up, because most of the thumb screws are on really, really tightly. But if you look here, you can see they actually slide. So this is actually a superior design to, say, the ComEase Kingdom Classical Storage Master that I have, which has a similar design to my Corsair 5000X, in that on those it has 3 positions, fixed positions that you can mount it in, and those are the only positions. There's no sliding, and the thumb screws are inside, not outside, so it's very hard to adjust it without discombobulating things. Now, in order to, I'm going to switch to putting this on a stand. Naturally, it comes with a manual that's got lots of gibberish on the first 2 pages in multiple languages. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But the manual is, 13, 14, 15 languages. But the manual itself, with the exception of the back page, is all in English. And so here are the specifications. I'll show it to you. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see it. And it shows you the parts that come with this, which are the buzzer or the system speaker that you plug into your motherboard, cable ties, USB rubber covers, input and output port rubbers, motherboard standoffs, VGA support standoffs, fan screws, disk drive screws, SSD screws, PSU screws, and PCI slot covers. There are 2 in there actually, and it explains how to remove the side panels, which is very, very easy. How to mount the motherboard, which you can do ATX, micro ATX, and ITX, or mini ITX, I should say. So you can see that there. And it shows how you can mount the video card or graphics card the normal way, and it also, well, wait a second, and then it shows how to install SSDs or on the back of the motherboard tray using a little tray with a thumb screw. It also shows you how to install the hard drive, how to move the hard drive tray, and also about installing hard drives on the tray. You can also do SSDs on that tray, this or 3.5 inch. And how to mount the PSU, and where you can mount the radiator, and what sizes are available or usable, and where you can mount fans and what sizes are usable, including on top of the PSU. So you can actually do on the back, you can get 1, on the top you can get 2, on the front you can get 3, and on the top of the PSU shroud you can get 2. So that's a lot of options. And the only big difference is if you get the i4 TG, that's the one with that has fans with LEDs. And these are the connectors: hard disk drive LED, reset, power LED, power, high definition audio, USB 3, USB 2, and that's all there is for that. So, in order to remove this, you just reach underneath the bottom and pull up. Unlike the Kami's Kingdom Classico, since this is mostly metal, except for these 2 ends, it's not going to break very easily. So you can, but still don't try to be too macho about it when you remove it. And you can see that there is this fine mesh filter in here, but again, you can see, I hope. Okay, I had to turn on another light. So you can see that the mesh filter here covers this part, but it does not cover, there's a 45-degree angle, and then there's a side, and it does not cover those, as you can see right there. So that's unfortunate. I don't know why they decided to do it that way. But right now it's taped into place, but there is a magnet here and a magnet down here as well that holds that into place. And you can see the 3 fans. Now, if you pay attention, you'll notice something odd about the fans. The Zalman logo is not the same on the 3 fans. That's just because of that. So don't get too freaked out about that. And these are just 3-pin DC fans. So they've got a TAC signal, but they are not PWM. So it'll be able to modulate the volts going to the fan to control the speed. And so these are mounted on the permanent side. So you can't actually take it off, mount the fans, and then reinstall it. But at least they've got nice holes for the cables. And so again, this can be 120s or 140 millimeter fans. You can get 3. You could do 2 140s and a 120 in the middle. On the top, you can do 3 120s or 2 140s. On the back, again, 120 or 140. And you can remove this in order to access this for vertical GPU mounting. Now let's open up this side. And here's the mesh on this side. It's also held in place with tape, but they have magnets running across the top and bottom. Now, if I it seems to be just a slight bit warped. This is actually really very sturdy. Now, unless you weigh like 300 pounds or something like that, in which case, or maybe 250 even, I wouldn't recommend sitting on this. But, you know, if somebody were to sit on this and they weren't particularly heavy, it would be okay. It's lightweight, it's thin metal, but it's strong. I mean, obviously you're not going to be using this, I hope, as a seat. Now you can see the other two fans right there. And, oh, by the way, for radiators, you could also put a 120 or 140 radiator here, 240 or 280 millimeter radiator here maximum, and then up to a 360 in the front. All right, and you can see here, if you do a vertical mount, you can have this bracing the graphics card here. And if you want to do a standard mount on the motherboard, you've got an adjustable mount right here that allows you to change the position of this, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how many cases come with this, but this is certainly not a very, very common thing to have both of these graphic card supports. I mean, my 5000X, which was, you know, like sells for over $200, and this is a $70 case, did not come with either of these kinds of supports for graphics cards. So that's something, yeah. And you can also adjust you can move this part forward and backwards using these two that are on sliding things, and you can adjust this part to make it fit the way you want it to fit. Also, if you don't want to use either of these, you can remove them. You can put fans here. You could put 3.5 inch. You could probably figure out a way to mount 3.5 inch devices on here and on here. And that's pretty much it for that. And of course, if you've got one of those silly power supplies that have LEDs on the side, you have this spot where at least you can see the name of the manufacturer, name and model number, or the LEDs if it's got LEDs. Not useful to me, but about the fans. These are marketed as high airflow fans. They are not high airflow. They're only 42.8 CFM, cubic feet per minute. And it doesn't even list their pressure. But based on, I tested these, and the pressure is really, really poor. So don't expect much out of these fans. And if you start having problems with your computer overheating, replace the fans. But I'm gonna plug it in later, unless I forget, and let you hear in the fans. And maybe I'll use a little bit of paper to try and demonstrate how little airflow there is coming from these fans. Now you can see that the back fan is kind of blocked because of this grill here. The front fan is blocked by both the metal mesh and the plastic mesh inside of that. That's even finer, but it's also got this very, very large honeycomb mesh here on the inside. So it's got 3 barriers it has to overcome, which makes it challenging, I would say, for the fans. And the top fans have to work through this. You can always just take this off, find some other use for it, because really, why do you need a dust cover on exhaust fans? Because most likely you're going to be using this for exhaust up here. That's what most people do. And then, of course, the cabling going to the motherboard for USB and for the reset and power and hard disk drive and LED and stuff like that, all there. All right, and that's pretty much it for that side. So let's show you. All right, here we go. Yes, I know my chair is beat up. I really need a cloth cover for it because I love this chair. It's very, very comfortable. I'm not very good at sewing. But I will have to make one or buy one or the other. All right, so you can mount 2.5 inch SSDs here using these frames. Let's see if I can loosen one of these. There we go. So it hinges on that side. You can pop it in there, and then you can tighten it down. That's pretty thin, but Yeah, it's there. There is no cable management. Now they used a cable tie up here, but otherwise it just has just twist ties. And most of these wires that you see here are either for the front I/O port. Oh, look at that. How did that get disconnected? Well, I shall have to reconnect that. That's not good. The glue came undone. Yay. So yeah, there is the hard disk drive tray right there. Now I wanted to show you the accessories, but more importantly, this came warped, and it does so. I don't know. I'm going to try to straighten it out somehow. Maybe I'm going to heat it up a bit with maybe steam or something like that to get it to be straight. But right now it does not slide in here correctly. It does not. Yeah, so it slides in and then it gets messed up. And the other one is almost as bad. So the hard disk drive, or the 3.5-inch double drive bay, is not very useful until, well, I think maybe once you've got a device in there, you should be able to mount it correctly because it'll stretch out the plastic. It'll straighten things out. But I'm not entirely sure. Now, as for the fans, they've actually daisy-chained all of the fans together from one end to the other end. So all you've got to do is plug it in to one header on your motherboard. If you want to use a hub, you can get a hub. One of the people on Amazon that reviewed this product claimed that this comes with a fan controller. It does not. And as far as I can tell, the LED version also does not come with a fan controller. So there's really not much else to tell you about it. I did want to also demonstrate about what I was talking about with the hard drive bay. Let me get my screwdriver. Hold on. All right, I just got to loosen these up a little bit. First time they're nice and tight so they don't loosen up during transportation. All right. So once I get these loose enough, oh wow, I thought I loosened that one up. I guess I missed that one. Okay, so loosen them up, and then you can slide it to where you want it to be, which gives you give more space to the power supply. Now, as far as power supply size is concerned, the maximum power supply length is only 140 millimeters. The maximum CPU cooler height is 170 millimeters. The maximum graphics card length is 320 millimeters. Yeah. Not exactly super spacious. I can actually get a much larger graphics card in this Classico case here. But, you know, if you don't have like a really big graphics card or power supply, this will work out just fine. But if you're looking to have a case in which you're going to be putting a really big system with, I don't think this is going to be ideal for you. Yeah, it's not super great quality, but for $70, at least that's what I paid for it. I think it is definitely worth it. And then you can just spend the extra money you save by not buying an expensive case to buy better fans. You can go cheap and get like AAA wave fans, which are made for mining, but are very powerful. Or you can go with something like Antec or Arctic or something like that. Very, very inexpensive, or even no-name brands. You know, they're not necessarily going to last a long, long time, maybe 40,000 hours, but it'll last for a while. So yeah, overall, this is not quite as good as I was hoping, but still, it is pretty good. I'll say that for the size and what I paid versus the features, and also considering my Classico over here, this is better than that one. As far as like, if you want a lot of storage space, lots of hard drives or whatever, that's definitely going to be better. But like that one has punch out slot covers. This one reusable. That one doesn't have these two things. That one has removable storage compartments and stuff, and crap fans, and only what, 4 crap fans, and this has got 6 crap fans. So yeah, and so I think this is a better case than that one. I know that there are going to be people out there that are going to be like, oh, geez, it doesn't have this and it doesn't have that. And yeah, that's, it doesn't maybe have all the things that you would maybe like to have from a premium case. But hey, if you want premium case, go buy a premium case. If you're trying to save money so you can spend it on more important things and you don't need USB 3.2 to be on the top, and you don't need USB-C on the top, and you're happy to have it all in the back in here, or add a thing in here, or have a USB hub attached, well, that's fine. So I'm going to say that I'll give this an 8. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Also, by the way, could you please like and subscribe, and maybe even share this video around on the tech channels or tech forums or whatever, so that I can get, be able to do more. Because right now, all of this is paid for by myself, and so I buy lower end products. I don't go for the expensive stuff because I just can't. I'm not earning any money off of this, but I want to be able to do more with this channel. And eventually leave Amazon, because I won't get into that, but I would like to make this my full-time job at some point in the future. I know that probably isn't going to happen, but if you can help me, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, now to show you the fan's power, or lack thereof. So let's start by turning it on. I've got them daisy chained together like they were when they came to me. And I'm putting them on max. As you can see, it's very quiet because the fans are crap. So now I want to try to demonstrate to you. I can feel the air coming out here, and it's really weak coming off the back as well. It is just baffling to me why they are so weak like this. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece of paper, I'm putting it against the back of the case, and you can see that it's barely moving. I mean, if I put it over here, like that, but over here it's barely doing anything. And are those 2 fans doing much? Not much. Can these 3 fans hold that piece of paper on here? Nope. They can't. Let's try taking the filter off the top and see what kind of a difference that makes. Very little difference. All right, well, let's try one more thing. All right, so let's try it like this. Nope. Even without the filters, filter and mesh in the way, these fans are so pathetic that they cannot hold the piece of paper there. So that shows you just what quietness costs you in terms of cooling power. So yeah, the fans are garbage. They're not even really worth anything unless you just want quietness to move the air through this. Now, let's be fair though. This is a mostly mesh case, and that means that a lot of the heat is going to exit not just from where the fans are, but wherever there's mesh. So that makes the poor quality of these fans a bit less important, but it's still going to be important. Sorry. I think I would give the fans like a 3, honestly, because they're really not worth it.